Hey everyone, today we're going to crack open a really clever machine learning technique called Fisher Linear Discriminant Analysis, or, LDA for short. At its heart, it's this classic, super powerful way to teach a computer how to tell two different things apart. Think about it, like distinguishing between a healthy cell and a cancerous one from a medical scan. So let's start with a really core problem in machine learning. Imagine you've got this big pile of data, and you know it belongs to two different categories. How in the world do you find the absolute best possible line to separate them? It's a fundamental challenge, and believe me, LDA offers a pretty brilliant solution. Okay, so let's get a picture of this in our heads. We have two groups of data points, right? We'll call them class 1 and class 2. Now, they're mostly separate, but you can see there's a little bit of an overlap, kind of a fuzzy area right in the middle. The challenge isn't just to separate them, it's to project all this 2D data down onto a single 1D line where that separation is as crisp and clear as it could possibly be. And this is where Ronald Fisher's amazing insight comes into play. He realized the key wasn't just about drawing a line between the groups. No, it was about finding the perfect viewing angle, the perfect perspective that makes these two groups look as different from each other as possible. So here's the big idea. Fisher LDA is really just a clever optimization game. It's searching for a new axis to project our data onto, and that new axis has to do two things perfectly at the exact same time. First, it has to push the centers of the two groups as far apart as possible. And second, it has to squeeze each individual group to be as compact and tight as possible. Let's break that down. The first goal is all about maximizing what we call the between-class distance. Just imagine you're standing on our new projected line. We want the average point from class 1 to be miles away from the average point from class 2. We're literally trying to create a wide, unmistakable canyon between them. That's only half the story. The second goal is just as important. While we're pushing the groups apart, we also have to minimize the within-class scatter. What does that mean? Well, we want the data points inside class 1 to be all tightly huddled together, and the same thing for class 2. Why? Simple. It reduces that messy overlap and makes each group's identity much, much clearer. Now, Fisher captured this whole balancing act in one beautifully simple formula, the Fisher criterion. The best way to think about it is like a score for how good a projection is. The top part of the fraction, the numerator, that's the between-class distance. We want to make that huge. The bottom part, the denominator, is the within-class spread, and we want to make that tiny. Our whole mission is to find the projection that makes this fraction as big as it can possibly get. All right, that's enough theory for a minute. Let's make this totally concrete and actually see the calculations in action with a super, super simple one-dimensional example. So our dataset could not be simpler. We've got two classes sitting on a number line. Class 1 has the points 1, 2, and 3, and Class 2 has 6, 7, and 8. Now, since they're already on a line, our goal here is just to use Fisher's method to get a score for how well separated they already are. Okay, here's our plan of attack. First, we'll find the center, the mean of each class. Then, we'll measure the spread inside each class and the distance between their centers. With those numbers, we can calculate our Fisher score and finally figure out the best dividing line between them. And after we run the numbers, boom, we get a Fisher criterion score of 9.375. A high number like this just confirms what our eyes are telling us. These two classes are very, very well separated. It gives us a solid quantitative measure of just how good that separation really is. Okay, that was the warm-up. Now let's apply that exact same logic to a more realistic 2D dataset. The core idea is completely identical, but now the real challenge is to find that single perfect line to project our scattered 2D points onto. And yep, step 1 is exactly the same. We find the center of mass for each cloud of points. The only difference now is that our means have both an x and a y coordinate. So for class 1, the center is at 2, 2.33, and for class 2, it's at 7, 5.33. Now this is where it gets interesting. To handle two dimensions, we need a little more firepower. We calculate something called the within-class scatter matrix, or S sub W. I know it might sound complicated, but all it really is a mathematical description of the size and orientation of our data clouds. It captures the spread of both classes, and this is the thing that represents our goal of making the groups as compact as possible. And of course, if we have a matrix to describe the spread within the classes, it only makes sense we'd have one to describe the separation between them, right? And that's the between-class scatter matrix, S sub B. This one captures the distance between the two class centers. It's the mathematical version of our goal to push those groups far, far apart. So how do we combine these to find our perfect projection line, our W star? Well, it all comes down to this really elegant solution. We start with the simple direction between the two class centers. That's the mu1 minus mu2 part. But then, and this is the magic step, we adjust that direction using the inverse of our within-class scatter matrix. This is what essentially warps our line of sight to account for the shape of the data clouds, making sure we find the absolute best angle that minimizes their overlap when we project them. So after we find that optimal direction and we project all our 2D data down onto that new 1D line, we calculate the Fisher score again. And the result? A score of 13.0. That's even higher than our simple 1D example. It's telling us that we found a projection that creates an even cleaner, more decisive separation between these two classes. And honestly, the results just speaks for itself. By finding a simple decision threshold on our new projected line, we can classify every single one of our data points with 100% accuracy. Every single point lands on the correct side of the line. Now that is the power of finding that one optimal perspective. Now that we've seen LDA in action, let's put it into context. A really great way to appreciate its unique strength is to compare it to another famous technique for reducing dimensions, principal component analysis, or PCA. And here is the crucial difference, you guys. Fisher LDA is what we call a supervised algorithm. That means it uses the class labels. It knows which points are in class 1 and which are in class 2, and it uses that information to find the best line specifically for separation. PCA, on the other hand, is unsupervised. It completely ignores the labels. It just finds the direction of the biggest overall spread in the data, which might be great for some things, but could be totally useless for actually telling the classes apart. So let's zoom out for a moment and recap the key takeaways here. Why is Fisher LDA such an important tool to have in your machine learning toolkit? Okay, here's what's really essential to remember. LDA is a powerful way to reduce dimensions, like going from a complex 2D plane to a simple 1D line. But it does it with a very specific goal, maximizing class separation. This gives you a clean, simple, and often really effective linear boundary. Now, it does have some assumptions, like the data being roughly bell-shaped, but it's such a foundational and incredibly intuitive approach to classification. If you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this core idea. At its heart, Fisher's method is this elegant search for that one perfect viewpoint that does two things at once. It pushes the different groups away from each other while simultaneously squishing each individual group together. And that leaves us with a final thought. This technique is all about finding a clear, decisive line between two things. So think about the applications. Is this email spam or not? Is this transaction fraudulent or is it legit? Is this customer going to churn or stay? If you can find the perfect line, what new insights could you unlock?